Hello. About 3 weeks ago I took some tomato plants just like this in this cell and I potted them up. And I potted them up into yogurt cartons. These are the yogurt cartons that I was using, and it was my intention to stand these tomato plants on a kitchen window until they were big enough, or until the weather picked up, and then transferring them to a greenhouse. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to avoid those tomato plants becoming leggy and searching for the light, so I made this. Okay, now I videoed that, and if you've seen this before, then you've seen that video. If you haven't, it's simply a plastic pop bottle with the bottom cut off and some white paper sellotaped to the outside to act as a reflector. The idea being we would stand this over the potted up tomato in the yogurt pot, and we would stand it facing the light so that this would act as a reflector and surround that tomato plant with light. The idea being that the tomato plant wouldn't then lean towards the window, it would grow straight. Okay, I'm going to cut you back to some of that video now. Watch that video, then come back to me and I'll show you the results, because we've moved on now. Those tomato plants have got bigger. In fact, they're outgrowing the bottle, so we've got to take them out now, even though we're not ready to get them in the greenhouse because it's still too cold, but they've outgrown this bottle, so we've got to take them out. Come back to me and I'll show you that. These are my tomato plants. I've sown 6 seeds in each of these cells, and there are 7 varieties. I only need 24 plants, so I've obviously got a lot more than I require, but what I'll do is, once I've got my 24 plants sorted, I'll just give the rest away. Let me show you what varieties we're growing this year, and later today I intend singling these tomato plants up into these yogurt pots. There'll be 24 plants singled up into yogurt pots, and they're the 24 that I will grow on in the greenhouses. This is a tomato called San Marzano. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one didn't make it. So we've got 5 to germinate from 6 we sowed. This is a tomato called Costelluto Fiorentino. We managed to get all 6 seeds to germinate in this cell. Costelluto Fiorentino. This is a tomato called Ildi. Again, we've managed to get all 6 seeds to germinate in this cell. This is a tomato called orange berry. Five of those 6 seeds have germinated, one didn't. A tomato called orange berry. This is a tomato called red pear. All 6 seeds have germinated in this cell. This is red pear. This is the striped one. This is a tomato called Tigerella. We've only managed to get 3 seeds to germinate from 6. This is Tigerella. And this is a new one for me this year. I didn't grow this one last year. I grew most of those varieties last year that I've just shown you, with the exception of Tigerella. That's new. But this is also new. This is Roma. We've got more than 6 germinated here actually. I'm not too sure how I manage this because I'm normally quite meticulous in the way I sow seeds. I usually sow them using a matchstick and single them up. But anyway, we've got 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 seedlings from what I thought was 6 seeds sown. I must have sown 8. Yeah, so that's Roma. Okay, I've got quite a bit of work on now potting these guys up. Well, as you can see, I've started to get these guys potted up. I've taken them out of these smaller cells and singled them up into these yoghurt pots, as I said I would. I'm nearly finished now. What I'm going to do now is cut off pop bottle. You've seen these before. Bottom's cut off. Piece of paper, sellotape to the outside to act as a reflector. That will reflect the light. Now these are going to stand now on a windowsill, so it's important that we try to keep them strong and straight and they don't get too leggy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop one of these over every one of these and stand them on a windowsill. Okay. How easy was that? Perfect fit. How easy was that? I hope you can see this. Perfect fit. So we'll stand these on a windowsill now, let them go for another few weeks, see how the weather goes, and then we'll decide when we're going to take them and pop them in the greenhouse. This is one of the tomato plants that I've taken from the windowsill. Okay, I'm not too sure how you'll catch this, but the tomato plant leaves are actually pressing on the inside of this plastic bottle. and I hope you can see this, but there's lots of condensation in there, so there's no chance of this plant drying out. Okay, now what I didn't realise was when I done this that these plants would grow this big this quickly, but they have. So now's the time to take this plastic bottle off and to see how this tomato plant's developed, see how big it is. Okay, are you ready for this? Right, let's do it. Wow. So what's been happening here is that, yeah, the tomato plant's got a lot bigger. The leaves, because the plant has thrown leaves out all the way around, the leaves have actually pressed against the inside of this bottle and forced the plant to grow straight up the middle. It couldn't lean if it had wanted to. It's kept itself straight. And of course the reflected light has helped it to grow as big as it has. Look at that. It's as big as the pop bottle. So it's had to come out. It'll now have to stand on that kitchen windowsill, I suppose, for another week or two, and then we'll get it into the greenhouse. So this was a start to finish video. You saw me pot these guys up. You saw me place this on. We've now taken it off. We won't be using this again, not this year, not for tomatoes anyway. We may use it for something else that we want to plant in these yogurt pots. So that's the finish for this particular application. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.